This is the brand new Link Tapo DL130 palm vein fingerprint smart lock. Let's take a look at, install, and review it. Okay, so let's take a look here. You can see here on the front, it also has locally stored and encrypted data for the fingerprint, which is great to see. It has a backup battery and a door sensor, which alerts you if the door is left open. So let's see here what it comes with. So it actually has the doorbell speaker built in. I believe this is on the inside. This is nice to see over other brands I've seen where it's a separate plug-in chime. Although it would be nice if they had the option for an additional one. Okay, it looks like a drilling guide for if you are putting this in a brand new door. Okay, I'm not exactly sure what these are for. Here's our quick start guide, and this shows exactly where to put the sensor. So that's pretty nice. We'll try that out. All right, let's see what else we get in here. Here is first the interior assembly. That's actually a really nice action, very smooth, I like it. If you pop this off, this is where your battery goes, and there's a reset button in there that I believe we'll be using for setup. Okay, we have the front assembly. This is pretty heavy, so you have the paddle, 2 screws. Okay, so it looks like it's actually going to be nuts that go on here. This isn't usually how it's done, but I kind of like it. Here's the connector. We have our weatherproof seal here that just kind of pushes on. And then if we open this up, you can see this rounded square here. That's where the palm sensors are. Then we have the keypad in this area, the fingerprint reader here, as well as a digital button for the chime. And it does appear that the whole housing is metal. This feels very solid. So here's the battery. It is 7,800 milliamp hours. For comparison, a smartphone is around 5,000. The battery is USB-C rechargeable, which is good to see. And it looks like this is our interior mounting plate. Again, with a weatherproof seal. This is all rubber. And then the back screws into here, here, and here. You get 2 keys, and you use those by pulling down this door. It is magnetic, which is nice. And here is also the emergency charging port, which you can literally just plug right into your phone. Okay, you do have a standard USB A to C charging cable. Here we have all of our hardware, it looks like. Here's the door sensor. It is rather small, and this is magnetic. And finally, in the last box here, we have some more screws, your strike plate, a dust box. This goes in your door frame, and the latch itself, which is extending to accommodate for different sizes of doors. This has the deadbolt in it. All right, now that we have everything, let's go install it. Now, if you're installing this on a new door with a pre-drilled hole, you are ready to go. If you're installing this on one that already has a lock on it, you can go ahead and take that off. Everyone is different, but all of them should have the latch with 1 screw on the top, 1 on the bottom. If you are installing this on a new door, you can now use the included drilling guide to measure for your door. Now, since I'm using it on an existing door, I won't be showing you this, but you should be able to find a good video for that. Now, to start, you can take your latch, and the word top should be facing up. You can extend it if necessary, depending on the depth of the hole in your door. You're just simply going to slide it in. And use 2 of this type of screw. There is a bag with 4 of them. And this plate should be flush with the door. The strike plate can also be installed just with 2 of the other silver Phillips head screws. I'm still not exactly sure what these stickers are supposed to be for, but I think it's just for aligning the deadbolt once you're installing it. So I'm going to skip this, but here is the instruction, and here are the other 2 that pertain to it. Next, we're installing the front assembly. So the cable goes under here. The 2 screws go in those holes, and the paddle goes through this slit. Next, you're going to take the back plate, make sure the rubber seal is attached. You're going to feed the cable through the rectangular hole, then the screws and the paddle through the larger one, like so. It seems like they kind of just missed this part of the instructions, but I believe depending on the thickness of your door, you may have to use a flathead screwdriver to screw in these posts further. And I found that you need to do it right until it is about flush with this panel. just like so. Then you're going to take these cap screw sort of things and put these on. So I threaded them both on most of the way. Now you're going to want to make sure this plate and the front assembly are lined up. Once they are, then you can tighten them all the way. Now you're going to take the rear assembly and plug it in. It only goes in one way. Just be careful though to make sure that you don't put any strain on the cable. You're going to line this up in the unlock position so the knob should be vertical. And you're going to place the paddle through it. Next, you can remove the battery cover. Now you're going to take these 3 small black screws. You're going to put 1 and 2 on the outer holes up here, and the 3rd one down in here. Next, I'm going to take this black rubber plug and just put it right in here. It just covers that screw hole. Now make sure that the latch functions correctly and smoothly. It does. Now, if desired, you can take this longer black screw and put it right through this middle hole. This really is here just to keep it aligned, although I think the clamping force of the screw caps we put on down there and the rubber sort of gasket mat thing is going to be enough to keep it there. And in case you ever want to change the lock someday, you might not want to do that, but that is an option. I have the battery charging here. It does have an indicator, which is orange while charging and green while. Next, you're going to take your battery and just slide it straight in. And slide the battery cover on. Alright, so now let's download the app and start the setup. Alright, so now you're going to read the privacy policy and continue. You're going to create an ID if you have not already, then sign in. Alright, you can go through this sort of setup if you'd like. So what you're going to do is you're going to go and click the plus sort of towards the top right of the screen and click add device. So under Tapo, you're going to go to door locks. This is the DL130. Yes, we've installed it. Now, to begin setup, you're going to take off the battery cover and press and hold the reset button for about 5 seconds.
Ready for setup.
And it is ready for setup. Again, you just tap here. Alright, you're going to enable Bluetooth on your phone and allow it to locate nearby devices while using the app. And now your phone will look for the lock. Okay, you're going to connect it to your Wi-Fi and it's going to connect the lock to your network. Okay, you can name it and add a location if you'd like. I'll just do a random name. You can see that the doorbell now is functional as well as the keypad. Okay, so it looks like for this part you do have to be on the same Wi-Fi network as your lock. Okay, now it's time to calibrate the device. So I don't have a flush doorway, so this template is not actually going to work. If it does for you though, you just put this around the lock and then place the sensor anywhere here, preferably closer to the lock. But since that isn't working for me, I'm just going to see, okay, it has to be at this height, and I'm going to put it right on the frame here, since it just says the closer to the lock, the better. And it's going to be mounted just a tad bit under the lock, so about right here. You're just going to stick it on, like that, and it should be good. Alright, let's start calibrating. We're going to unlock and open the door. Now we're going to have it resting against the frame. It says do not fully close it, so we're going to have it slightly ajar, just like that. Now we're going to close the door all the way. Calibration successful. Now let's calibrate the device. Alright, calibration completed. Next, enter a code that you'd like to use on the keypad. Okay, let's begin the registration. It says to maintain about 4 inches between your hand and the device. And start registration. That was quick. Alright, now you're going to name it. Let's register my fingerprint. Okay, it shows you actually how many times you've done it, which is kind of nice. And you're going to do it 8 times.
Fingerprint registration complete. Exit fingerprint registration.
And now you can name that. You can register more fingerprints now if you'd like. To lock it, you can either press the fingerprint scanner with a registered finger, or press the lock button, which is this right here. You can have it automatically lock when it senses that the door is closed after a certain amount of time listed here. Or if you don't have the door sensor installed or it's unavailable, you can have it just push the deadbolt out whether or not the door is actually closed after a certain amount of time. You can have one-time PIN codes, which is nice. Here you can see the event log and even what method the people used to unlock it. So let's try everything out. You can lock either by pressing here or by using your fingerprint. Then you can unlock either with your fingerprint. This turns blue. You can use a pin, which it looks like you can do at least 8-digit, or your hand, which is proximity activated. Of course, the physical key is here, and a USB-C cable, which can be plugged directly into your phone for charging. A nice feature I discovered also is if the lock gets jammed, I'll do it on purpose here. It'll do that and say the lock is stuck. To turn that off, you just press there, and you'll see it is actually locked like this, but then it will unlock normally right after. Finally, let's test how responsive each form of biometric verification is. Very quick. Now let's try palm vein. Also very quick. So that is the Tapo DL130 Smart Lock. Thank you everyone for watching. Comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the very next video.